just...
It's camera lady.
So this is camera woman Catherine and Kenny on the assist.
So if you hear purring in the background,
Yeah,
it's not me.
How's my hair?
It looks good.
Are you just saying that? Does it look wild? Oh, it looks fine. Right?
Yeah.
Does it look fine?
Uh-huh.
I need you to tell me.
No, it looks good.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you being serious?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so what's up, everybody? John from Old Reading Farm here. We are out here in the flower farm. Pan to shot of the flower farm.
Not.
And today we're going to talk about some planning. So we had, and we've talked about this a bunch. Kenny, please stop biting the phone. So we have talked about this area a lot, and this was...
Okay, let me put him down.
So we've been talking about this a lot, and this is also like the first thing that we ever did when we bought this place. We came up here every weekend, cut down trees, bucked them up, threw them in the back of the truck, and then drove them up. And anyway, you've all heard that story a million times. But so now we're getting to the point where next year, authentic. Next year, in 2024, is going to be the year of the window greenhouse. And now, probably a lot of you who watch our videos started watching us because of our window greenhouse videos. So we previously built a 12 by 12 recycled window greenhouse at our old property. But here, we're going to build one much, much bigger. And so right now, we're just sort of in the planning stages. But so basically, so this is our flower farm currently. You can see there's not much here, but we basically have 4 quadrants. I'm standing in one of them here, and then we basically have the center line right here. So if Catherine would come right to here. So I'm now basically standing in the center of the 2 front quadrants. But so basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a T-shaped greenhouse sort of set at the back of these quadrants, because we were originally going to put it right in the center and then have raised garden beds sort of going around it, because we had tried to grow things here, but nothing really grew. We put seeds down, some of them grew up a little bit, some of them didn't. I remember we put kale in here, like little started plants. They grew like a tiny little bit and then nothing. So I'm not sure what's going on with the soil here. We brought in topsoil and all that kind of stuff, and it just did not grow. So, you know, we were trying to think, like, should we come and like bring like a bunch more compost down here and try to grow them in the ground? But because we don't know what the hell's going on in the soil, we're just gonna do raised beds. We're gonna bring in compost and just fill those beds, because that'll be a lot cheaper than trying to fill the entire ground. So our last window greenhouse was done, like I said, like a 12 by 12 square. And we had just a simple pitched roof on it. Catherine has some big plans for this one. And I do too. I want this to look like really good. We're really hoping that this is gonna be like a feature on our farm. And again, this is the place, you know, my parents live here. Kat's mom lives here. This is like the last house we're ever gonna live in. So we want it to be right. So I'm gonna mill some big wood. We're gonna have it's gonna be sort of post and beam, faux timber frame type framing on it. And then we want to have like a big high pitch roof. And then we want to have, I don't know what it's called, but like that little like addition on the top. And again, so Catherine has a Pinterest board, and I'll show you a couple of her inspirational pictures. And if you guys see anything fun on Instagram at Old Reading Farm, feel free to tag us. We'd love to see it. But so we're basically going to have a T. So the big main structure is going to be right in the center towards the back. And we're going to have like a big, you know, nice opening. And we'll have, I think, 2 big French doors in the front. Anywho, so we'll have the big front feature here. And then in the back, we'll have basically 2 bump outs on either side. Because Catherine loves the bump outs. And, you know, we just want it to look really nice and have different, you know, roof pitches and like sort of an interesting roof line rather than just a standard, you know, like, because everything that I've built here so far has just really been utilitarian, like
single pitch.
Right, single pitch roof. I mean, the first barn we built had the standard roof, which I forget what they call it. but then everything else had the single pitch shed type roof line, which we're not going to do here. So we're going to make it very nice. It's going to look very good, tremendous, perfect, and I'm very excited about that.
And so we're committed to doing raised beds like all the way across here. And we're going to successfully grow flowers.
Because Catherine has placed several very large dahlia orders.
Yeah, like 3 o'clock in the morning, spending $500 on Swan Island dahlias.
Tell you what, there is nothing more dangerous than Catherine awake in the middle of the night with internet access. So, anyway, but she also, so I don't know if we even talked about this, but Catherine dug up all of our dahlia tubers and divided them, washed them, cut them, wrapped them, and then even sold some online, which paid for the first dahlia order anyway. So it's not like we're just frivolously spending money on dahlia tubers, even though I caught her looking at Tulip World yesterday. But that's okay, right? If we want to grow flowers, we gotta start somewhere. So, but anyway, so I think now what I'd like to do is sort of measure the area and sort of decide where it's going to go, because we were talking about it, and like obviously the number one necessity for right now is to have growing space for the dahlias that we purchased. So like we need to have the raised beds, but then my concern was like, you know, if we just put the raised beds here before we have the greenhouse built, you know, it's going to be, then we have to build the greenhouse around the raised beds. And so like I thought it would be best if we looked at and at least planned out how the greenhouse is going to be before we build the raised beds. Because like worst case scenario, if we get down to it and we don't have enough time, we can always build the raised beds first. And then as long as we have the plan for the greenhouse, we can go from there. So once we measure this area, figure out how much growing space we're going to have, figure out how big the greenhouse is going to be, then we can sort of mark it off. We try to clean this up a little bit. I guess it'll die off more over winter, but I mean, there's still going to be a bunch of stuff here. But I think we'll be able to rake it out maybe. And we talked about even like renting a tiller.
To flatten it.
Flatten it, yeah. So.
And if anybody has suggestions on in between the raised beds, because we've talked about mulch in between, we've talked about grass in between, and making the raised beds like the width of the mower space. And then we've talked about gravel. And maybe I'll flash a picture up on the screen of Cozy Oaks and her raised beds. So we've got a flower farming friend who lives like 30 minutes from here. And she has some really tidy looking garden beds.
Yes. It's very nice.
Goals. I mean, they're the pictures you're going to see are put to sleep already, but...
Right. So they don't look quite as beautiful as they would if they had
flowers
in them.
But like the tidy, neat, organized...
Yeah. That's always been our goal.
Yeah.
We're always just kind of rushing around.
Right.
Trying to, you know, get ready for the next show, trying to, you know, build a fence in time for Catherine bringing home 5 alpacas, you know, all that kind of stuff. So we've always been rushing around. So we're really trying to plan this out and get it to look as nice as possible, because again, we want this to be a feature on the farm. And like I had talked about, I think previously, like it would be so nice if like in the middle of winter, like we go do our morning chores and then like go sit in the greenhouse with a fire going and like just drink hot chocolate and coffee. I think that would be nice.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have like a nice greenhouse that's functional, but also like really aesthetically pleasing. The other thing that I'm a little concerned about, but not like worried about, is the town and what we're going to need to do for the building department. Because this is going to be a big greenhouse, we need to get a building permit as opposed to a zoning permit, because it's definitely going to be over 200 square feet. So I'm not sure what regulations they're going to need me to do. This is Armando. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to need to do for that, because depending on what they say will determine whether or not we're going to do like posts buried in the ground with concrete, or it, you know, what kind of, because we were also talking about like a floor, you know, are we going to do a wood floor or what? And you know, this is just talking out of school, like I don't know if we would need to do a gravel base and like do a concrete pad. I don't know if we'd need to do, like I said, posts in the ground or what. I don't know what they're going to require us to do, but that will sort of determine what we do also. So we'll have to see. I was just looking at a big dead ash tree that we need to take down. Shouldn't be too hard, but we should do it before we build all these raised beds because that's literally going to come down. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for sticking with us, for me blabbing about our greenhouse and hanging out with our cats for 10 minutes. If you guys do have any like cute, awesome looking greenhouses that you see on like Instagram, please tag us at Old Reading Farm. We'd love to see what you guys think. And if you have any ideas for what we can do down here to like clean it up, clear it out, flatten it out, that would be great. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Bye.